Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to use PHP to fill in a fillable PDF. If you don't know what a fillable PDF is, it is literally a PDF file that has been built with a form inside of it. You've probably seen this on websites before where you've had to download a PDF, fill it out and then print it. Well, I'm going to show you how to make it so that your website does that for the user and spits back the PDF already filled out where they can just print it straight away. Let's just see a demo of what we're going to build. So I'm just going to type in my details and I'll just type this is a test and I'll hit generate PDF. And what will happen is that this PDF I showed you earlier, which is kind of like the template, it's going to automatically be filled in with the data that we typed into the form. It's then going to be downloadable. So if we click on download, if you click on the PDF, you'll see that that PDF was filled out with the details I typed and it was flattened. So it's no longer a PDF with a form in it. It's just a standard PDF which can be printed. Now, design isn't going to be the main focus of this tutorial, so it's not going to look fantastic, but it will hopefully teach you all the functionality. To get started, we will need to install something on the computer that we're going to be working on. So I'm working on my local host. I'm using a local server called Laragon. It's called Laragon. It's a program that runs a local server with MySQL and Nginx or Apache. You can use that. You can use WAMP or XAMPP. Just make sure that you're working on a local server. Otherwise, it's not going to work. PHP won't work without a local server. And then once you've got your local server set up, you need to install something called PDFTK Server. This is a command line tool that we need for PHP to actually interact with the PDF once the form is filled. PDFTK can be installed on your local Windows machine or Mac machine, and you just need to visit the PDFTK website to download the software. So if we go onto Google and we just type in, PDFTK, it will take you to the PDFTK website. If you click on that and then you go to PDFTK Server, you should see the download files here. So in my case, I'm using Windows 10, so I download the Windows version, follow the prompts, install it, and once it's installed, you can easily find out if it's working properly by just going to your command prompt and typing in PDFTK, and that is automatically going to have this pop up, which means that PDFTK is installed. Now that we have PDFTK installed on our machine, we can now create the project. Okay, so I've gone ahead and created a new folder called tutorial, and inside there I have a blank index.php file, and in the browser it's just blank right now. The first thing we want to do is we want to create the basic HTML5 scaffolding, which in VS Code you can just do HTML:5, and I'll just make the title of the document PDFTK tutorial. Now within the body of the HTML document, we want to create the form. So as you remember when I showed you, it was just a form that looks like this, so we'll just recreate this. We just want to include Bootstrap into our project for design purposes to make it look slightly better than standard. So I've just gone into the Bootstrap website and grabbed the CDN link. And I'm also just going to link a basic style sheet to this project as well. So I'm just going to link it to style.css and create a new file called style.css. And within the body now, let's just use the Bootstrap container to center the form. And we'll then create the form tags. So this will be the form tag where we can put the action and the method. We'll then put a title. We'll just do generate fillable PDF. And we'll put the description, which I'll just copy from what I created earlier. Cool. Now inside there, we want to put a form group. So this is another Bootstrap thing. And we'll make it a row so that we can put 2 columns in there. And inside there, we'll just do div col lg6. And within this column, we will do input type equals text. And this one will be for the first name. So this is the input for the first name. So we'll call it fname. And we'll give it a class of form control. And these are all Bootstrap classes. If you're not familiar, you don't have to use them. It's purely for just making it look half decent. And then I'll give it a placeholder of first name. Okay, so we'll go back to the project and we'll refresh it. And you should see that it looks like this. I'll go into style.css and I'll just put some padding at the top. We'll do padding top 100 pixels. So it looks like it's a bit away from the top of the page. Cool. All right. So now we can just copy and paste. Oops. We can copy and paste the column and make this L name and make this surname. Okay, so now we have first name, surname. We then needed to add the email and the phone. So I could just literally copy this here and paste it. And then just do email, phone, and then the placeholder will be email and phone again. We'll change this to HTML5 input, so we'll make this type as email and we'll make this type tell. And then the last one would just be the inquiry button. So div form group, and we'll do text area name equals inquiry. And we'll just give it rows of 10 and we'll give it a class of form control. And then we'll close the text area. And actually the last one is we obviously have to do the button, the submit button. So I will just copy and paste the form group from there and just do button type equals submit. And we'll do say generate PDF as the button name. And we'll give it a class of button, button block, button success. Again, Bootstrap classes. Refresh it now and we should see now that we've got first name, surname, email, phone, and the text area should have a placeholder as well, I guess, just for usability purposes. So we'll just do placeholder equals enter your inquiry. Cool. All right, so we have the form set up, and now what we want to do is we want to make this form post to, I'm just going to format the document, make it neater. It didn't really do much, but yeah. What we want to do is we want to make this form post to another PHP file. And in that PHP file, that is where we are going to get all the logic and create the PDF and return it to the browser. So the first thing we want to do is we want to give it a method, and the method is going to be post. So we're posting the data, and then the action is going to be to a new PHP file. We'll just call it generate.php. Cool. So let's go and create generate.php. And inside generate.php, we want to receive the post data. So if I just do echo hello, actually PHP echo hello, and we go here and we hit generate PDF. Oops. It should go to generate.php. Cool. Okay, for a bit of protection on the server, we want to just make sure that it only accepts post requests. You can't actually just visit generate.php in the browser. So we could just do if and then underscore server request method is not equal to post. Then we'll just exit. So that just won't allow the script to run if it's not a post or a post request being made to that generate.php file. What we need to do now is we need to grab the data from the form. So we could easily do this. Name equals $_ post fname. So we could actually make it fname equals that. Lname equals post lname. So we're basically assigning the variables so that we can then use them in the script. So email, and you don't have to do this. This is just purely to make it simple. And then we'll call this inquiry. Cool. So if you're not familiar with PHP, or if you're only a beginner, you'll know that this is actually the name of the input. Okay, cool. So we've received the data now. So if I went ahead and just echoed fname, go back, type in Sean, hit generate PDF, you'll see that my name is echoed back. Okay, cool. So that's all working. Now what we need to do is we need to obviously put or grab the PDF that we are going to be pre-filling and putting it into our folder or our project folder. So I've created one earlier. It's called test.pdf, and I am just going to grab that and put that into the folder. And we need to store this PDF into our project. So this is kind of like the original file that's going to be used all the time by this PHP script. So if we go into test.pdf, it's like I showed you at the start. It's just a basic fillable form, but there are a lot of forms out there that look much more sophisticated than this, but this is just a simple one. Now I'm using Adobe Acrobat Pro, and in Adobe Acrobat Pro, you have the tools button here, and you can actually edit a form. And as you can see, in the fields here, they all have their own names. This one's called name underscore field. This is called email field. If you click into it, you can actually change the name as well. But what we basically have to do is we have to know the names of these. I'm not sure if you can see these in standard Adobe PDF reader, but if you can, you need to grab the names of these and you have to know what they are so that PDFTK can actually fill these fields out. So now we know the first name, or sorry, your name is the name field. Your email is email underscore field. Your phone is phone underscore field, and your inquiry is inquiry field. Okay, cool. So now that we know that, in our project, if we go to our generate.php, let's create a new array, and we'll just call it data. And inside that array, we will assign the data we've posted in that form to the fields that are in the PDF. So name field, which refers to this, that is going to be equal to fname dot, and I'm just going to concatenate it here so the first name and last name are in one field. So the name field equals the first name and the last name. Then we'll do the email field, and that will just equal email. The phone field will equal phone, and the inquiry field will equal inquiry. So let's just go back and check that. Name, email, phone, inquiry. Name, email, phone, inquiry. Cool. All right, I'll just get out of that PDF now. So now that we've pretty much mapped the data that we want PDFTK to use when we are creating or filling out this PDF. So now what we want to do is we need to install a PHP library. It's called php-pdftk, and that allows us to interact with PDFTK using PHP. First thing you need to do is you need to open up Terminal in the project you're working in and just create a blank Composer file. Now, if you haven't got Composer, you need to install Composer. You can go to getcomposer.org and install it on your machine. And once you have that, you can do Composer init. And this will just create a blank Composer file. And we'll just wait for that. So it's going to ask for a name. I'll just do Mr. Digital and I'll call it PDFTK. And then I'll just hit enter, 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 enter. Skip all these things. No, no, and yes. Okay, cool. So now we have a blank composer.json file, and then we need to obviously install php-pdftk. To find out the link, just do php-pdftk in your browser and go to this one, which is Mike Hartle php-pdftk. Click into it, and you should see the link to the library. So Composer require, copy that, go back into Terminal and just press enter. that is going to automatically install the php-pdftk library ready for us to include in our project. Cool, so if you're familiar with Composer, you'll know that it creates a vendor folder which stores all the PHP libraries we are going to use. And in addition, with this tutorial, I'm going to do something called PSR4 auto loading. So that, because I'm going to be creating a class to do this generation of the PDF, I just need to set up Composer to allow my classes to be automatically loaded as opposed to manually including them in the project. So if we go into the Composer folder and we go, if we go into composer.json, sorry, and then just on top of require, we can do auto load, and then we'll create an object through there. And then inside there, we'll do PSR4 and create another object within there. And then we want to refer to the folder we're going to put our classes in. So let's just create a new folder called classes. And I'm going to do classes // and then I'm going to then tell the system to auto load any classes that are within the classes folder. So this would be the namespace, and this would be the folder. Okay, so now that we've saved that, we can just do PHP composer dump auto load. Oops, that's wrong, isn't it? Just do composer dump auto load, and that will automatically just regenerate all the auto load files. It says that there are 0 classes generated, but that doesn't mean anything, so that's fine. And we can get out of that. Now what we can do is we can create a new class. So if we go into our classes folder, we're going to create a class which is going to be responsible for the generation and the filling of the PDF. And then it's just going to spit back the data so we can display it on the front end. So we'll create a new file in our classes folder, and we'll just call it, what will we call it? We'll just call it generate pdf.php. And inside there, we will then give it a namespace. So the namespace is obviously the folder that it's within, or if you look at composer.json, that was the namespace. So we'll do namespace classes, and then we'll do class generate PDF. We then want to obviously use the PDF library we brought in through Composer as well. So it's use Mike HAERTL PDFTK PDF. Okay. Now that we've brought the PDFTK or the PHP PDFTK library into this class, we can then interact with it. So I'm going to create a method in the class called generate, and this will be responsible for grabbing that data from generate.php and then using PHP PDFTK library to fill in the PDF and then respond back with the name of the file which is stored on our project folder or in our project folder. So now that we have this method, let's firstly let's set a file name. So whenever a new PDF is created, we want it to have a random file name. And without having to create a new function just for that, I'm just going to use the random function in PHP. So we'll do file name equals, we'll prefix it with PDF underscore, and then we'll do rand, which is just random number, the lowest number it can start from, and then maybe the highest number it can end from. Okay, and then we'll do dot, and then within there .pdf. So that's basically going to create a random PDF name. Then we're going to create a new variable called PDF. It doesn't have to be called PDF, but that's what I'm calling it, PDF, and we'll equals new PDF because it's referring to this class here. And then inside there, we just need to put the argument of the PDF, the original PDF that we are going to manipulate, which is test.pdf, what we added in there before. So we'll just do test.pdf. Then what we want to do is we just want to fill out the form. So we'll do PDF, fill form, data. So the data that is going to be brought in from this PHP file it's going to come into here and it's going to fill in the form. And as you know, we've already done the mappings. And then we just want to flatten the PDF file, and then we want to save it. So save as, and we're going to save it into a new folder. So we'll create a new folder and we'll just call it completed. So it's all the PDFs that are completed will go into the completed folder. So then we just have to go save as, and inside there, the argument is obviously the location where you want the file to be saved. So we'll do completed and then dot file name, which is the file name up here. Cool. And then we just want to return the file name. All right, so we've done this. Now we just need to instantiate the generate PDF class in the generate.php file. So we'll do PDF equals new generate PDF. Is that how it's done? Yeah, that's right. And we then want to get the response, which would be PDF generate data. Okay, so what's happening here? First of all, we need to obviously include the class. So we'll do use classes generate PDF. And then we will, once the class is instantiated, we will then use the generate method and push our data into there. Then it will automatically run this and then spit back the name of the file, and that will be stored in the response variable. We can then basically, I'll just var dump the response right now. So let's give it a try. We'll go back into our project and we'll fill out the form. So I'll just do Sean Freitas, Sean at mrdigital.com.au, put whatever, and I'll just put test there, and I'll hit generate PDF. Now we have one issue here which says classes generate PDF is not found. So that means that the class can't be found. So I'll just see what the issue is. And that's a very rookie error. So we're using Composer to have our classes auto-generated. So we actually need to bring in the auto-load file. So what you can do is just here, after this check, we can do require once vendor autoload.php. That's just going to be the easy fix. So it will load all the classes that we put inside the classes folder here. Okay, we'll go back to our project now and we'll just hit generate PDF again. Cool. And as you can see now, it's returned a response with a random PDF name. And if we go into our completed folder, we should have seen it, but as you can see, it's added it into the main project folder. So if we go to generate.pdf again, we need to make sure that we put a / there so it puts it in that folder. I'll delete it now out of our project and we'll try it one more time. I'll just refresh the page and it will automatically post it again. You'll see that it's created a new PDF name. And then if we go to completed there, you should see our PDF there. So if we go completed in our Explorer and open up the PDF, you should see the data that we filled out and it's been flattened. So how does it look like if it's not flattened? Well, we can just basically take away flatten, for example, and we'll then refill out the form. Just hit generate PDF again. Same thing happens. It's got a new name, and you obviously do a random name so it doesn't keep overriding the same PDF. And we'll just open up this one. Here we go. And as you can see, because it's not flattened, you can actually edit it. So that comes in handy if you want to flatten it or not. Depends on your use case, I guess. Okay, cool. So now we have the ability to create the PDFs. Maybe it's better if we respond in a better way. We don't just var dump the response. We actually send the user to another page. So what we can do now is we can do header, location, thanks.php. So let's create a new file called thanks.php, and we'll send through some data with that. So we'll do fname equals, and then we'll add the fname variable there. So we have the name of the person that has filled out the form. And then what we'll do is we will also add and link equals, and then we'll add the response, so the response link. Cool, so this basically will redirect the user to a thanks.php page, and inside there it's going to or automatically have the name of the person and the link, so we can make just a custom message. So let's just go back to our index.php, copy the whole thing into our thanks.php and remove everything except the container. You could change the title if you want to thanks. And then we just need to do a message. We can do something like thanks php echo get fname. So as you know, it's been passed in the URL. Your PDF is now generated, and then we could just link it here. So we could just do an anchor tag, and we will then within the anchor tag point it to the completed folder, so completed, and then php echo get link, and then maybe make it download automatically so it doesn't just open the PDF in the browser automatically. And we'll just close the H1 tags as well. Sorry, that was quite a large line there, so I've just made it into the 2 there so you can see it. So we'll go back to the project now, and we'll just generate the PDF. You should see now that it sends us to thanks.php. It has the name here, and it also has the name of the PDF there. If I click download, it will automatically download that PDF. Now, if you're eventually going to take this into production, you're obviously going to want to protect some of your files. So the first thing you want to do is in the completed folder, maybe just create an index.php and just put, nothing there. That's so people can't just go to your completed folder in the browser and view all the PDFs there. So if you take away, obviously if you take away the index.php and then you visit, people will see the index. So you could just add an index.php there to protect that. Another thing is your generate PDF class. You don't want people to be able to just access it in the browser directly as well. So as you can see right now, you can access it, and there's no point. For security point of view, it's best to protect that. So to do that, what you can do is inside generate.php, you can create a constant, and that constant will just be some sort of variable that gets created when you're in generate.php, when you're using it. You can only use generate.php if you use the post method, which is through the form. And then if that works, then you can define a constant. We'll just call it access check, for example, and we'll do true. Okay, so basically that means that this constant is true. And then what we'll do is inside generate PDF, in the generate PDF class, we want to check if that constant is available. And if it isn't, we're just going to exit the class before anyone can use it. It doesn't really matter here because there's no construct function in this class, so it's not actually going to run automatically, and it actually won't run at all unless you call it. But it's just better to do this to protect your classes. So you could do if not defined access check, then we just want to kill the script, and we'll just write direct access not permitted. And that's kind of like security 101. So let's go back in here now and try and access it. You'll see that it's not permitted, and also we can't access the PDF folder. But if I try and generate the PDF, it should still work. Cool, so that works. So yeah, in this video I've used vanilla PHP. Ideally you would use the knowledge you've learned here now, and you would have maybe put it in your Laravel project, because it can be done very, very easily, and probably much better because you don't have to pass all these strings within your URL. But this should give you a rough idea of how it works. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment on this video, and I hope you have learned something today. Thanks very much.